Hello, Radio 568. This is yours truly, DJ Don't Stop. How's it going? So, today is our first day of our soon to be infamous, somewhat famous show where things make sense. Ain't that right, Dr. Professor?
Which mic am I on?
You're on mic 3. You got it.
All right, there
All
you
right,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I added something to the description of the show,
All right.
and you haven't read it yet, but it's basically where things make sense to Matthew.
To Matthew, all right.
And I said sometimes you do make sense.
Sometimes.
I'm not going to say all the times, but sometimes
All right, so we'll say 98.25% of the time.
you don't make sense.
Yeah, I do make sense.
Oh,
Great.
you do make
Yeah,
sense.
right. Yeah, it's
Your
definitely
percentages are going down.
You think so? I don't know. I doubt it. But anyway.
Yeah, you make sense.
Yeah, I think so. At least I think I make sense, and that's all that matters. Shouts to Dr. Professor's iPad right now. He got the nice little iPad Uno.
That's right. It's worth more now than the more updated one because it's like an antique.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it practically is.
It
Yeah.
has antique value to it.
Yup. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I'm kind of like reminiscing. It's almost nostalgic looking at you use it.
No photographs.
No
You
photographs?
can't take
Right.
any photographs.
Yeah, right.
Right.
There's no camera.
But you can use it as a protective device.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
right.
like put it over your heart. It'll stop a bullet.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised to see that in such great condition. Wow.
I gave it to my wife
Oh.
a couple years ago
Okay.
because I didn't have anything to give her for that particular birthday.
So you gave her the iPad.
I gave her
1.
my iPad.
Oh, your iPad.
It was mine. I said, "Do you want it? It's your
Yeah.
birthday present."
Oh man.
And she liked it. She
a
liked
recycled gift,
that. Right.
a hand-me-down.
It was a hand-me-down, but
and
she
then-
liked it and she used it for 2 years now.
And then she gave it back
And then she got a new tablet that they were giving away at Verizon
for free.
for free, for nothing,
Wow.
for free.
I mean, that's the best price ever.
Yeah, it was like a nice tablet, smaller than my
Must have been a
my
Galaxy,
antique
huh?
iPad. You know, I don't know. I don't
Samsung
know.
Galaxy, I think.
It was a new setup. It was really sweet. It was free,
Mm.
and so she said, "Here, take your iPad back." So she had this iPad, this antique iPad. We'll have to have a given name, the antique, and the antique.
Right.
She gave it back to me, and it had this kind of pink cover on it.
Oh, what happened to the pink cover?
Kind of girly. A lot of pink cover, you know, it had so it could protect the screen and all.
Yeah, but what happened to your pink? Why are you not using the pink cover anymore? I mean,
I don't know.
nothing
It
wrong
was kind of not me.
w-
I'm not going to say girly. It just wasn't me.
It wasn't you, right? I mean, they say that the most masculine color is pink.
I know. Yeah.
If you could wear pink, you could wear anything.
Yeah.
At least that's what they say. I don't know.
Who are they?
They people.
They won't say they say.
They say. Right.
Who the hell are
Who
they?
are they? Where are they? Where can we find these they?
I want them to. I want they to tweet me. And
Yes.
it'll say hashtag they.
They. And whoever they are, we'll be talking to them eventually. So yeah. So this is my first show. Yay me. And before we kick off, me ranting and talking about stuff, which I think makes sense 98.25% of the time. We're going to play a little songy song real quick. It's just an instrument I made once upon a time. So we're going to play it. Let's go. Here on Radio 568. Thank y'all for listening. And we'll be right back. So we are back, as though we never left. So this is my little rundown of the show today. I want to talk a little bit with Dr. Professor over here about self-policing and the state of the police today.
Right. I think that's a whole topic that you really can get an even more organized kind of program going on that. I've got one of my self-meeting society groups is going to get into that at some point. I think one of the WJGCRH groups. Maybe you'll want to come by and throw in some of your experiences there.
Oh yeah, as long as it's not on a Tuesday or Thursday, which is the money-making days.
Yeah. I'm not
down.
sure. I'm not sure what day they're going to schedule it. They schedule it as it comes up.
Okay.
But it's during community hours, so.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, if I'm not there to be there, I'll be there to listen in.
All right.
Hopefully, tune in and hear what they have to say. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about a few things that's going on with I guess I don't know, the current state police. The most famous things really Ferguson, Staten Island. What else is happening?
Did you hear there was another killing in St. Louis?
Oh yeah, another killing in St. Louis, right, in South St. Louis. I was reading about that the other day.
Amazing.
I don't know if you're familiar with this website, World Star Hip Hop. Do you know about that, Dr. Professor?
No,
right.
I don't. I'll look it up.
I wouldn't tell you to. I wouldn't recommend you to it. It's too ratchet for your liking. Ratchet. you know the term ratchet, right, Dr. Professor?
Let me guess. Let me see. From the context of how you used ratchet, it's kind of wild, crazy.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's off the beaten path of
Dr. Professor
the kind
may
of
have an
music you
iPod
like.
1, but he's down with the lingo.
Well, you just used it, and I'm just contextualizing.
Right.
All students, when they read, always contextualize if you don't understand a word before you look it up in the dictionary.
Right. True.
Right. See, I'm always a teacher.
Yes, sir. Always a teacher, always a learner. So yeah, on World Star Hip Hop, not too long ago, there was a video of this a man. He was in the passenger side of the vehicle. I guess it was his wife or girlfriend driving. Had 2 kids in the back seat. The police officer that was questioning him, there was 2 of them, and they called for backup for some reason. Broke his broke the woman's passenger side window, and then tasered the man, and dragged him out of the car. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is not real life right now."
Was this a white couple?
No, it was a black couple.
Oh, I didn't hear if you had said that.
I don't like to mention the race thing, but I'm gonna mention the race thing later on.
I think it's a key part of our culture at this
True,
point.
yeah.
When you talk about policing, I mean, it is kind of part of the story, and you can't get away from it.
True. Actually, talking about the whole race thing, I asked this question and nobody could give me a clear answer. Have you ever heard of a cop shooting and or killing an unarmed white man?
Was John Wilkes Booth a cop?
I guess not.
That was a silly question.
All right. I mean, but how
He did kill a white man, but
all right.
no.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I just found that weird. It's like we usually hear.
There probably is
right.
an instance, but
it does get
in the news of today. No, I don't see it.
Right.
You want to check to see if we're still broadcasting?
Sure. Let me just check this real quick. It says broadcasting.
All right. Okay.
All right.
It's my ancient
pad.
iPad. I'm still trying to connect. I will do it.
All right. We call that.
No, it says we're live, but come on, baby. Come on, baby.
iPad Retro not working.
The headphones not working. But go on. I don't.
All right.
You keep going.
So my idea of policing and the way we are experiencing policing today, personally, I have a lot of experiences, and it's ironic that how most of my experiences that happen with police officers are usually after everything I did wrong. Like I'm like kind of on a clean slate type business right now. I've been a good boy for the last how old am I now? I've been a good boy for at least 4 or 5 years. And
I've been a good boy for longer than that.
Okay. But
I'm too tired to be bad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel tired to be bad myself, so I can understand. Yeah.
You're getting there. You're getting on.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's like, whatever. But yeah, like it's funny how after I have my clean slate, I always get pulled over by the police I'm always the subject of a quote unquote random bag check. Ironically, well, not even ironically, because that's everything to do with what I'm talking about right now. When I was heading to Buffalo to visit my girlfriend for her birthday, I went to Amtrak to take the train to go up there.
All right.
And right when I got online for the train, when it was boarding, the police officers, about 3 of them, came to the middle of the line where I was. And they asked me, do you mind if we do a random bag check? And I looked on the line, I looked to the right, and I looked to the left, and I doubt how random this bag check was, because, oh my gosh. It was clear cut that I was going to be the one that was getting that quote-unquote random bag check. It didn't look like anybody else would receive that random treatment. And honestly, for me to feel like it wasn't specifically pointed out towards me to get this random bag check, they would have to do everybody except for me. Only because they did me, I felt like, yeah, this is crazy. But honestly, I never seen them check anybody else except for me.
All right, I've got an experiment for us.
All right.
All right, here we go. See if you can follow this. This is going to be a little rambling,
All right, I don't
but I'm
mind.
allowed to be rambling.
Yes.
As you get a certain age, you can ramble, right?
Right.
So I go out to Bloomfield to lawn bowl. You know I'm passionate about lawn bowling.
Right.
And you've never kind of come up with it. Okay. So
I'm going to make it one day.
we have to, you will.
I will.
And so well, I was in Penn Station with my other white buddy, about the same age as me. And in order to lawn bowl, you need lawn bowls.
Okay.
All right, and these are weird things. They're big, round, grapefruity, heavy things, and you have to have 4 of them, and they come in a bag, kind of a long bag that could have dynamite in it instead of lawn bowls.
Right.
Right. So we're waiting for the number to come up to which train we're going to take, and there were 2 military guys, standing there with their guns, their Uzis, and in Penn Station.
What a nice sight to see.
Protecting us.
Quote
Right,
unquote
right.
protecting
And
us.
I was going. I had the lawn bowling bag there, which is a very unusual looking bag. They didn't look at me twice. My friend comes up. He has his lawn bowling bag too, and it's a weird looking bag.
Right.
And backpack and everything. And I stood there, and they didn't give me one look. What if you came up with a lawn bowling bag?
I'm going to say this based on my personal experiences. I have a regular bag. And I get checked quite often. So if I went with a lawn bowling bag, I'm pretty sure I'll be in handcuffs right now.
Yeah, because they look like little bombs.
Right.
I mean, they could have little bombs in them. Yeah. So if you ever want to go lawn bowling with me, well, I'll get you a lawn bowling bag, and
Right.
I'll stand on one end of the platform, and you could stand on the other.
I think you might want to stand right next to me just to be like, hey, he's with me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I know you've told these stories before, and I remember one time last semester.
Oh.
You had told me, and you were physically, emotionally, you were upset.
Very.
You're a sweet guy, and you're a big sweet guy.
Oh, thank you.
But you're a sweet guy, and you were physically upset, and you came up to me and said, "Have you ever been pulled over by the cops?"
Right.
I mean, I remember you asking me. And I said no, and then you told me these 2 stories about this one evening in which you were pulled over twice, three times,
a total of 3 times in
3
one night.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were with some white friends.
No, black.
Or they were all, it was
Everybody
all
was
black,
black.
right?
Right.
And then I think you told me another story about if you're black in this city, you need to know the rules.
Yeah.
And one of the rules you had said was you do not open the door.
Right.
Well,
depending on what they pull you over for, do you have the right to, say that I'm not opening my door? Like, for example, if they pull you over for you not wearing a seatbelt, there is no reason for them to actually open the door. Just like I forgot the amendment it is, that they cannot enter your house without a warrant. Same thing for vehicles. And honestly, it's funny how the amendments seem not to be anything right now, because our 4th Amendment right is constantly being abused. It's the 4th Amendment right, Dr. Professor?
4th Amendment. the right to marry whoever you want.
No, I think that's a new one.
No,
That's one of the
I
latter
should
rights.
know it.
Actually,
Remind me.
all right. So the Fourth Amendment right is more or less, you cannot just be randomly stopped and frisked. Like for somebody, for an officer of the court or law, whatever the case may be, to ask anything of you in which you're revealing your private stuff, there must be a reason, or you have some suspicion towards you. Stop and frisk actually goes completely against the Fourth Amendment right. I think Dr. Professor's going to Google the Fourth Amendment right to correct me on some terms here. But that is constantly being abused. So what you got there, Dr. Professor?
I've got to move my mic because I can't.
You can't reach?
Yeah, you keep talking.
All right,
here.
so
I'm
yeah,
gonna
you know,
reach.
I don't like anything that requires the police officers or anybody of the law to physically touch you and or check your person. They need more than a reason of, you look funny to me right now.
Okay, the Fourth Amendment, I'm reading from Legal Information Institute, LII, on the web, Cornell University Law School.
All right, that makes
Fourth
sense.
Amendment originally enforced the notion that, quote, each man's home is his castle, end quote. I guess a car would be considered a home. Secure from unreasonable searches and seizures of property by the government. It protects against arbitrary arrests and is the basis of the law regarding search warrants, stop and frisk, safety inspections, wiretaps, and other forms of surveillance, as well as being central to many other criminal law topics and to privacy laws. So under stop and frisk, I'll look that up. Under stop and frisk, a brief, non-intrusive police stop of a suspect is the definition of stop and frisk. Brief, non-intrusive police stop of a suspect. The Fourth Amendment requires that the police have a reasonable suspicion that a crime is being, or is about to be committed before stopping a suspect. If the police reasonably suspect the person is armed and dangerous, they may conduct a frisk, a quick pat-down of the person's outer clothing. So you were in the process of committing a crime?
I was not. I mean, unless going home is a crime from school, I was not committing any crime. I honestly feel like, you know, that's kind of a arbitrary way of wording the amendment itself, because you know, you could say anybody looks suspicious based on anything. You know, it's like, hey, we have a description of you from whatever, and you know, and also they have this thing where they say most crimes are committed by Black and Hispanic males, so I guess every Black and Hispanic man is a suspect in committing a crime.
Yeah, but it says it's suspected of about or committing a crime.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious, seems to me. But that's not what our former mayor was using and former police commissioner was using stop
Not
and
at
frisk
all.
for. They were using it to intimidate.
Exactly. And
I mean, a
feel like
wide intimidation
I'm
of a certain community.
surprised that only a few people have sued the city of New York
Yeah.
for, you know, basically destroying our amendment rights, because for that to take place at all is almost, it's disgusting. I don't want to say almost. It's completely disgusting. You know, I'm kind of at a loss for words to saying how this feels, but I'm pretty sure if you've been a victim of such behavior, you will know exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying it's just disgusting.
You know what? I suggest that we have a dedicated program, get a little more organized around this topic.
Right.
Bring in some law enforcement, a law enforcement representative. Bring in someone from the legal field. Bring in some students, Black, white, a variety. Just we have a number of mics now because we've got new equipment.
Yeah.
John Jay Student Activities Fee has kind of opened up our capacity to have a lot of voices going on at once now in our Radio 568 studios.
Total
And
of 6 mics?
we have 6 now, right?
Nice.
We have 6 mics. We've got headsets. We have a new expanded USB mixer. So we're grooving. So I think we should have a community discussion about it right here on Radio 568. Dealing with your experience and, you know, is important, and I certainly think that should be part of the discussion.
Right.
But but I think this is a discussion we should have here at John Jay College, especially.
Especially, right? College of Criminal Justice.
Right.
That makes
And
sense.
I would certainly support it, and I would certainly, help find the experts that we would need to sit down here and kind of work this out and see what's going on.
Right. And another thing that I was talking to, I forgot who it was, but I always do this, like, me and my coworkers, we have like general discussions, and we was talking about self-policing, and I think this is a beautiful idea, honestly. Instead of actually having a police force, in which we do, and this is the reason why I'm going against the police force, and maybe it's me being kind of biased in my own way, but usually when I see a police officer that bothers me, it's always some short white dude that I feel like I could take in a fight. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. And every time I see some videotape of a police officer harassing people, especially harassing black men, it's always a police officer that wouldn't stop that man for doing whatever he's doing if he didn't have a gun on his hip. I'm gonna use a few examples, and I'm gonna say this it's blatant. It's true. Everybody knows it's true. If you have a different way of viewing this, you're a racist. Honestly, that's how I feel. George Zimmerman. If anybody has heard the video, I'm saying videotape. Anybody heard the recording when he called 911? It's obvious that the only reason why he was following Trayvon Martin that night was because he had a gun on his waist. Because being a black man with a hoodie on his head, walking through a neighborhood in which all this drama was happening, in which George Zimmerman stated, he wouldn't dare put his own life in that danger. But because he knew he had a gun on his hip, he pursued. When he called 911, how many times did the 911 operator told him, do not pursue? It's okay. We got this under control. We'll send an officer out immediately. But every 2 seconds when they said it, he's like, oh, we just took another left here. I'm going to follow him down here. Oh, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to follow him down here. And then in George Zimmerman's quote-unquote defense, he said, oh, he saw me following him, and then he asked if I had a problem. Let me ask you out there, anybody. If I was following you home, if I was following you anywhere, wouldn't you ask me if there's a problem? You probably wouldn't because you'd be too scared to ask the question, but I'm pretty sure you'll be quite nervous about it or whatever the case may be. Anyway, whatever said happened was said that happened, and then he let off how many shots into Trayvon Martin? Was it 3?
I don't know.
Shot him, I believe, 3 times. At minimum, he shot him once. Let's say that. At minimum, he shot him.
It was more than one.
At least once. And for you to shoot somebody, I feel like the only reason why that ever took place is because he had a gun. And this is how I feel about most police officers. I remember this comedian, his name is Patrice O'Neal, the late Patrice O'Neal, he said a lot of these police officers that we have nowadays are just people suffering from Napoleon's complex. They're short dudes that never got respect growing up, and now that they are adults, they're like, you know what, I need to get a job at which people respect my authority. So they put on a badge and put a gun on their hip and say that they're police officers. But they fail to realize that half the time that people respect them now is because they respect the law, not respecting them. Now, I'm not saying that you should disrespect anybody for whatever reason that you see to be or not to be fit. Respect everybody. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of everybody love everybody, as quoted by Will Ferrell. But a lot of the police officers that I see that you see all the time on World Star Hip Hop YouTube that's harassing black people are usually these short white cops that cannot take on whoever they're messing with one-on-one. If anybody saw the videotape of Mike Brown, you saw that he's a 6'5", 330-pound black man. Now, the reason why they had to put him in a chokehold is because these police officers had no other choice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was right. I'm saying it's wrong that they did this. But they knew that you couldn't take him down. So they used by any force necessary, which is, to me, goes against the police code. You're supposed to serve and protect. But I don't feel like they're doing that. It just feels like they're just trying to make a name for themselves. Or trying to show, I have authority here, so I'm going to force it on you. I'm not going to just tell you, hey, you're doing something wrong. How about we talk? police officers, for some reason, especially when you know what? I'm not going to say this anymore. I'm just going to say this right here because I keep on defending what I'm saying. These are all things according to how I see things. This is where things make sense to Matthew, right? So this is where it makes sense to me.
Right? It's nice having your own radio show.
It's beautiful. DJ, don't stop talking, as they used to call me. But yeah, if you have to force your will on someone, you shouldn't be a police officer. I feel like if that's the means that you have to go, without there being a real legitimate reason for you to force your will on someone, then drop your badge. I think we should have this experiment taken into place, especially in the NYPD.
Well, the NYPD, well, the transit police are right there.
Right.
The transit police were on one side in Penn Station with my lawn bowling bags, and the military were on the other. And, you know, they're all armed to the teeth, and they didn't even see me.
I feel like
they didn't even see me. I wasn't even there.
For every month. Nah, forget this. I'm not going to say every month. Police officers should be randomly selected on when they have guns or not. And let's see how many police officers want to be police officers tomorrow. Because I'm 100% sure if you took away all the police officers' guns, 85% of the police force would drop tomorrow.
Because they are policemen because they like carrying guns.
They're policemen because they have guns to protect them. And I'm going to say this. I'm a big fan. I've recently, and it's only because of things that's happening, recently become a huge fan of the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms.
Right.
And that's only
well, it's controversial at this point as to what it really means, but go on.
Yeah, but I would say this. If a police officer gets to carry a gun, I should be able to carry a gun. Because, and I'm going to use this as an example, and there's other examples underneath it that I'm going to give as well probably. Suppose somebody breaks into my house, and I don't practice my Second Amendment right. I don't have a concealed weapon because, you know, in New York City, we're not allowed to have concealed weapons no matter who you are, unless you're like a ex-military or, you know, they have like those specific variables that you were able to have a concealed weapon. But let's say I'm a regular Joe. I can't have a concealed weapon in my house. But I could have like a shotgun in my house. You know, things like that. Things that aren't concealable or concealable for the, you know, basis of it. Somebody breaks into my house. I have no weapon, and they have a weapon. I don't protect myself, but I feel like the best protection out there is 911. I'll call 911, and of course the person already did what they had to do. Who knows? He probably killed my dog. You know, sorry, Sheba, which was my old dog. And you know, take whatever they want to take and then leave. When the cops come, all they're gonna ask me is, "What do you look like? He had what on him?" That's it. Okay, thank you. That's it. I mean that's all that happens. And then the thing that bothers me about it is that they have no liability if they cannot solve a problem. If I get shot and if I call 911 5 minutes before I get shot and the police officers come up 15 minutes after that call, depending on where I got shot, I'm already dead. And the person that has the gun that I originally called 911 for, if they don't come in 5 minutes or less, then what's the point? I feel like police officers have guns, and more or less criminals have guns. And criminals don't follow the law. So, of course, they don't care if it's illegal or legal to have a concealed weapon. And police officers, even though they have a big holster that show off their gun, a handgun is a concealed weapon because I can't have one, but a police officer could have one. And I feel like the fact that the police officers know that more than likely I won't have one, because more than likely not everybody's a criminal. They could take advantage of that. And I feel like that happened many times. And one of the times was the night I got pulled over 3 times. Police officer was like, "Well, I don't know what you have." And I was like, why you can't assume that I don't have anything, that I'm a regular citizen, a regular law-abiding citizen? And it's not like I can't say the same for you. I know what you have. And they constantly flaunt it in my face. It's not the first time and it's not the last time. Police officers like to flaunt the fact that they have a gun in your face. And they do it with little subtle moves. You get pulled over. The first thing that they do when they get out their car, when you look in your when you look in your mirror, they the button holster, or they put their hand on their gun when they walk to you. They let you know, hey, I'm ready to shoot. They let you know that. And if that's the case, if they could let me know that they're ready to shoot, I should feel like I should be ready to protect myself. And I also want to know, is it possible to use self-defense when being bothered by police?
These are all good questions. These are all really wonderful questions. And I think we should investigate it. I don't know that the answer is the police are packing, therefore the citizens should be packing, or at least certain aspects of the citizenry should be packing because they feel they've been isolated by the police as victims. I'm not sure that that's the answer. I mean, it could be a better. I mean, what you hear a lot and what John Jay College was created for was to create a better educated, more civilized police force. And I don't know that we've actually moved in that direction. I mean, John Jay has become more of a liberal college than a police college. So the question of, since the police are packing and they don't seem to be respectful to certain groups and communities and ages and skin colors, therefore we should all be packing. I mean, we'll be back to the Wild West.
Which was kind of a better time than right now, because you know why? The sheriffs knew that everybody else had a gun. So I personally feel like if everybody know that everybody more likely will be packing than not packing, there will be a certain level of respect. Because it's like, you know what? I don't know how good this person is. So I'm going to keep, in the Wild, people make it seem like, Wild Wild West, everybody's just shooting and whatever. Nah, what's that thing called when they both have guns and they walk 10 feet? A standoff?
Yeah. Wait a minute. There's another name for it. It's not a standoff. In the Western, it's called, I can't think of it.
All right.
When we're done with the show, I'll think of it.
Right. When the show's over, it's going to be like, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you were thinking of it's not a shootout. It's, the British would they'd back up and it'd be a duel, gunfight.
Right. Gunfight, standoff,
Yeah.
I feel like even then, it will be better than what it is now, because, and I'm gonna say that because of this. When it was like that, it was more of a skill thing. It was like, oh, he's a big gunslinger, you gotta watch out. Now it's like, I got a gun, you don't, you better watch out. It's not even about skill or talent behind it. It's just the fact that I have, you don't, haha, suck it. And and even if, as you said, he's packing, so I should be packing. Even if that doesn't work, I would say this. They don't pack, I don't pack.
That's how they have it in Britain.
Yes.
The police don't have guns, except under armed situations when someone's robbing a bank and they're armed, then they arm themselves. But otherwise, in normal situation, they do not have guns. But
Same
the
in
problem
Barbados
is,
back in the day.
in this country, we are gun crazy. We love the gun. It goes back to the Second Amendment, interpretations of the Second Amendment. But there's a large part of the population that wants to carry guns. And I don't think it would be, I mean, let's say there were some reasonable police out there. I'm sure there are. You haven't come across them because they are who they are. But there are reasonable police out there. And in our country, those reasonable police, whoever they are, they have to protect themselves because there are a lot of people carrying guns in this country. We were a different culture. We weren't such a gun-crazy Western frontiers land culture. Then I think we could be more like the English, but we can't.
I would agree with that. There are definitely some officers that, even though I may not have met them, I cannot say everybody is horrible. It's just that everybody that dealt with me sucked tremendously. And also another thing that I believe with the Second Amendment right is, well, even though it's a different time, I could kind of agree with this type of stand towards it, which is the first thing that somebody does whenever they want to take over a place, or let's say if I want to take over a people, the first thing I'm going to do is disarm them. Because if I disarm you, you can't defend yourself. So I can have my way with you. And that's what I feel like with the Second Amendment is holds its ground still today, especially when it comes to police officers, because it's not even so much like, oh, I got a gun, he has a gun, let's shoot out. But still, the fact of, you know, I still have a voice. It makes you feel powerful, kind of, I guess, to whoever has guns. It makes you feel powerful that you know, I got a gun, I can protect myself. And it's that feeling that people want. But we can't get that feeling with police officers having the upper hand on all counts. You know, the police, and the thing that really bothers me with police officers nowadays is the idea that they are the law. I had many police officers stop me and tell me, "You have to do this. I am the law." And I think that they kind of forget their role because of all the things that they have on them, including that badge and that gun, and I guess that ego as well. And they feel like they are the law, so they could say what they want to do, and I have to abide by what they say, which they fail to realize that they're not the law, they represent the law. You know, that's like me saying, that's like me putting on a uniform and going to school and be like, I am education. I'm not education. I'm just, I'm kind of more of a representative of education because I'm a student, so that's what I do. As a cop, that's what you do. You're supposed to represent the law. You're supposed to be there so we can see what the law is about. But all the time, and all the time, you know, just I see police officers break the law more than I see them abide it or protect people from those who aren't.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. But I would say, and I don't want to stop this conversation, but I just want to expand it because it's very important. It's not just important to you; it's important to everyone. That doesn't make any difference. But I think you're reacting to a certain kind of negative aspect of our New York City police force. But it's not just New York City; it's all over this country. And it's a certain attitude, and it involves guns, and it involves lack of training, and it involves power, involves maybe psychological imbalance on some people's side of who becomes a policeman, and the fact that maybe we need to professionalize the forces. And I sense, I hear your anger, and I hear your response to the way you're treated, and it's very normal. You want to protect yourself, you want to protect your family, you want to protect your dog. Yeah, and that's all very human. Sheba, yeah. That's all very human, but it's not the only direction to go in. In other words, if the bad element ratchets up, then you ratchet up. At some point, you have to. I mean, when Hitler came to power, we didn't want to go to war, but we were forced to go to war. I don't think we're that place with the police. I think we can find a way to civilize the police and civilize ourselves. But we're reacting, and you're reacting, it seems to me, to an uncivilized situation that is being perpetrated by the police force. And the answer needs to start with a civilizing, an educating, a professionalizing of our police force. All that takes money and will, and it can be done.
Do you feel safe whenever you see a police officer around?
I have very mixed feelings. Some of my feelings are kind of what you're feeling. I do sense, even from my limited point of view, the power that the police hold, and I don't feel like they're necessarily there to protect me. I feel like at any moment I could become a victim of the police. I've seen it happen, not to me, not to my family. The police, whenever I've called on the police, they've been helpful. But I have been in situations where I've seen on the edge, not directly like you have, in which the police have turned on me. I was on my bike once, right outside the school here, and I was crossing the street, and for some reason the policeman in the car thought I was angry with something he was doing, and he said, "Back off, motherfucker."
That's crazy.
And I was on my bike, just kind of crossing the street. I don't know what I did. And I'll give you one other instant. There was a standoff on my block where I work between a bank robber and the police force. The bank robber had a victim on one end of the block towards Riverside Drive. The police were on the other side on West End Avenue. And the only person that was killed was the person that the bank robber was holding, and she was killed by a police bullet.
Yep.
and there were a lot of bullets that were thrown back and forth. It seems to me there are other approaches to securing that bank robber than killing an innocent victim. Even though the bank robber was holding the victim, there must have been a better way of doing it.
Right. That kind of reminds me. I know you say we'll wrap it up, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. But you ever saw Captain Phillip?
Say again?
Captain Phillip,
No.
the movie with Tom Hanks, and he's with the Somalian pirates.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I did see that.
How do you feel about that movie?
This is is this a different topic?
Same topic.
I felt it was lopsided.
Yeah.
I felt it presented the pirates as bad guys, and the Tom Hanks is understanding good guy, and it was melodramatic, and the situation has got to be more complex than that.
You know what's funny? I felt like the movie portrayed it completely differently. Because, honestly, I felt like the movie showed complete patience from the Somalian pirates with Captain Phillip. Every time he tried to escape, all they did was threaten him. They knew they couldn't kill him because they knew at the end of the day, they're there for one reason. Not to be badasses and to prove that they're this or they're that. To get food and money to their families at home.
I wish it had been more of that.
And I felt like that. I mean, even though it didn't show that directly, I do feel like it was implied within all the times that Captain Phillips, honestly, if I was one of those Somalian pirates, I would have done killed Captain Phillips since like the third scene of the movie when he tried to escape. Because he tried to escape so many times, he kept on pushing the pirates, and he knew that the pirates weren't going to kill him. That's why he kept on pushing them until the American army came. And then when the American, I forgot if it was the army, military, whatever it was, when they came, the head pirate, they took on the boat. And before you went on the boat, it was like, no, you can't have your guns. But everybody on that boat had their guns. From that point on, you knew exactly what was going to happen. And I knew the real life story. But if I didn't know the real life story, I knew exactly what was going to happen.
I did too, and I stopped watching it before it even ended because I knew how it was going to end.
Yep.
Because it's formulaic Hollywood film.
Exactly. And I felt like that was complete disgust to me. Complete disgust to me. And as you said, they show Captain Phillips as like a good guy, more or less. I didn't see that until the last scene when he was like crying after everything was done. Everything before that, I was like, Captain Phillips is horrible. America is horrible. Because I feel like, as you said, there could be a better way to handle something. These people aren't just doing this because. They're doing this for reasons. And it's like, all we keep on doing is shitting on
their
them.
country is effed up.
Yeah.
And they need
our
an economy.
toxic waste is their water supply.
Yep. No, we're part of it. We're part of that, and the answer is to militarily go in and kill the whatever head kind of rises up. It's to cut that head off. It's not really to go in and solve the economic problem, the environmental problem, the health problems.
And also, I learned you could never win a hostage situation with America in any standpoint. They rather, as you even pointed out indirectly, they rather kill everybody than give anybody what they want.
Well, I don't. Maybe you misheard me. Or misunderstood me.
Yeah, I heard
it. I tend to agree with what you're saying. I think it was a misrepresentation of the situation, and I want to see a movie in which it's not a melodrama. This was a melodrama.
Do you feel like you could ever win a hostage negotiation?
You mean if you're the on the opposite side of the police force?
Yes.
No, I don't think you can. You can't.
I
know,
know,
and there's movies that show you can, but you can't.
They'd rather kill everyone than have anybody walk out.
Including the innocents.
Including the innocent.
Yeah.
Especially the innocent.
We got to wrap this up.
All right, so we'll be back hopefully next week.
Play a little music.
Play a little music? Okay, I just turned down my computer and everything. But we're going to play a little music, I guess. Since it's the end of the show, we might as well just play what we want now. I'm going to play a song. Am I going to play a song? Yeah, I'm going to play a song. What we going to do? So we're going to play this little song called Cocoa Butter Kisses, just to wrap it up on a semi-decent note. We had a lot of drama going on. So here we go. Chance the Rapper, Cocoa Butter Kisses. Here, Radio 568, where things make sense.
Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Okie dokie, alky, keep it low key like Thor, lil' bro, or he'll go blow the loudy. Saudi of sour Saudi, Wiley up off peyote, wildin' like that coyote. If I sip any, my belly just might be outy. Pull up inside a Huggy, start skiing Hutch a Dougie. I just opened up the pack in an hour, I'll ask my lucky. Tonight she just yelling fuck me, 2 weeks she'll be yelling fuck me. Used to like orange cassette tapes with Timmy, Tommy, and Chucky. And Chucky, Jesus pieces, sing Jesus love me. Put Visine inside my eyes so my grandma would fucking hug me. Your generation above me, I know you still remember me. My afro look just like that is, y'all taught me how to go hunting. Blam! Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it's stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it's stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I will smoke a little something, but I don't inhale. Everywhere that I go, everywhere they be asked how's it going, instead of go ins. Well, go figure, victors, light skin, Jesus got me feeling like Cole and Pell. All praise to the guy, God knows he's a pro like Cole Intel. Checkmate, check me, take me to the barber like you know me well. I mean, normally you see Norma Jean with a kick it with Farmer Phil. But these kids these days, they get so high, burn trees, smoke chlorophyll till they can't feel shit, face, this 15 hits on this L. Elevated train and the craziest thing got me feeling like Lauryn Hill. Miseducated, my dick delegated, rap bill belling me. They said I should've never made it, probably should've been dead or in jail. Dead be dead, enough of that jazz. Asshole absinthe up in that glass. Are we there? Yeah, ice cubes in a bone, rip brain dead, take a tuck and then pass. I think we all addicted, yeah. I think we all addicted, really though. I think we all addicted, yeah. I think we all addicted. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my memories, my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I think we all addicted. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses.
Flow, pitter patter with a patter, pitter juicy. Used to be in a Jollibee and a goofy. Try hard not to be addicted to a groupie. I ended up on an album cover in the Gucci. You see, I be still a guy, but a goofy doobie. Flowing about drugs and the Uzi. That's the dual principle. Sometimes I'ma be about some hope, sometimes I'ma wanna make a movie. And when it come to rapping fast, I'm the Higgs boson. Yeah. And though my style freakish, I can still break your body down to 5 pieces like I did Voltron. Yeah. Cause I'm addicted to the craft and I be off of OG. Know me, I'm the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the ghost. See, never scared of mean spirits, methamphetamine lyrics, cooling like I'm off of codeine, low key. Don't be so judgmental, even though I'm reminiscing. If I don't know what I miss is, I'ma end up figuring out that it's home and my mother and my grandmother cocoa butter kisses. This is just a testament to the ones that raised me, the ones that I praise and I'm thanking. I need them but the chronic all up in my clothes and I wanna get a hug and I can't cause I'm stankin'. Never too old for a spanking.
Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my memories, my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I think we all addicted. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies